Hey, everybody, welcome back to day 5 of writing. Today, what we're going to do is we are going to continue to look at our paragraph and see me rewrite it and talk about some other rules that go along with a paragraph. Remember that by the end of November, you're going to write us a paragraph. Be organized, use capitalization and punctuation, and don't feel overwhelmed because remember what I showed you on day 1 about the bicycle. You start out small, you watch how they're done, you practice it, and you're going to become awesome at it. And it's always a choice in writing. Are you going to lay on the floor and kick and scream and cry? Are you going to feel sorry for yourself? Are you going to try everything that we do in writing and become a really great writer? It's all up to you. And kids hate to write. I don't understand that because if we didn't have writers, then we wouldn't have any books to read. So stick with me and just feel good about this. And then next week, we'll break it down even more. All right. All right. Remember, we need a purpose. Are you going to try to get me to do something or try something? Are you going to teach me something using facts, which facts are true statements? Are you going to entertain me and just have me enjoy your story? Before you ever start writing, these two are mainly nonfiction. This is going to be always your fiction stories. Not true, generally using facts and truth. All right, here's another example of a paragraph. Beavers are unique and interesting creatures. Unique means unusual, or it catches your eye, or you really notice that they're different. Beavers have thick, soft fur that protects them from cold and wet conditions. They have webbed feet and tails that have small scales on them, which help them swiftly swim in lakes and rivers. Beavers have strong jaws and teeth that can chew down several trees in a day. Amazing, huh? Yes, beavers are marvelous little animals. Did you notice that I left out the word are there? That's why it's so important to reread your writing. You are never going to do it right the first time. If you have a nervous breakdown because you have to have it perfect the first time, you're going to have a million nervous breakdowns before you get out of school. Because even me, college educated, I still make lots of mistakes. I saw where I had to put a comma in, I saw where I left out a word. So just feel good. And then you read it to somebody, you catch your mistakes. You read it to somebody else, you catch more mistakes. Because again, if you have a nervous breakdown, every time you write and you're not perfect, then you might as well just sit and be that bike rider that cries all the time. Okay? Now, remember that the parts of an informational paragraph is a topic sentence, facts with details, and a conclusion sentence. If you remember this and you write this, this is what they call a formula. Also remember that not all hamburgers are the same. They're going to have different kinds of ways of writing these facts and details. They're going to have really great topic sentences. They're going to use those transition words to show order when they write. But how you do it is generally this formula right here. It's kind of like having a recipe. But how you produce it in your final paragraph, well, that's your voice. That's you writing. So it's all going to be different from each other. All right. Yesterday we did this and I wrote this out and I said animals build different kinds of nests. Topic sentence, main idea. What are we talking about? First, hummingbirds build little cup-shaped nests out of spider webs and moss. Next, mice construct grass nests that look like balls. Now, I added something here because I didn't tell people where those little balls are usually at. And I said that are hidden in tall grass or underground. Remember, I could add that. So I'm going to maybe add that right here. Oop, I'm in the wrong screen. Hold on. Let me flip over. I'm going to go right here. And this is how I do that. Look like little balls that are hidden in tall grass or are found underground. Okay. So I'm going to put a comma right there. I like that. or are found underground. And I may change that as I read it more. But see how I edit and I change and I add and I think? You don't just whip out a paper and go, "Oh yeah, you know what? This is great. I'm like the most excellent writer ever because I'm perfect." Man, you do that, it's not going to be great. It's not going to be done. You have to put thought into writing. And then my next one, my last one is my conclusion. And I say, clearly, animals don't all make or live in the same kind of nests. Now, what you're going to see me do is rewrite it. I always have to have a title: animal nests. Titles aren't sentences, they're titles. They're short, sweet, and to the point. They're called succinct. That's what that word means: short, sweet, and to the point. Now, I always have to have my name. All right, so I say Animal Nest by Mrs. Hicks. Now I drop down and I go over to, do you notice how I can be in the middle? I can go over to the left. I can go over to the right. Right now I'm in the middle and I need to be to the left. Now, all paragraphs do what they call indent. The first line, the first word is indented in your paragraph. You don't do it, you don't have a paragraph. So what I do is I hit the tab key and it automatically sends me in about 5 to 8 spaces. Now I can start typing. So I go animals build many different kinds of nests. Now I'm not going to worry about that spelling word right now. Different. I go over, put an E in, keep going. Now after a period, I go 1, 2 spaces. Then I go, first, hummingbirds build little cup. Did you see it do it on its own? I just keep typing. Shaped nests, period. 1, 2. Next, mice construct grass nests that look like little balls that are hidden in tall grass or underground. I like that. Did you see I kind of changed it as I did it? Now, I don't want to write a new paper. I want to still write. Now, look, period. 1, 2. Now I go, finally, comma, weaver birds make woven grass nests that hang from tree branches. Now, do you see that mistake right there? I go back, I go, oop, I used a wrong letter. If you see any red like that, it's wrong. You got to change it. Now I'm to my conclusion. Clearly, animals don't all live in the same kind of nests. Now I'm not done. All right, so now do you see this? Here's my margins. See how this margin's kind of wild because it makes it go down to the down if the word doesn't fit, just like I was showing you on our notebook paper. Always know that your first word of your paragraph is indented. You need a title, you need your name. I skipped a line, I indented, and then I typed my paragraph. Now I'm going to reread it to myself to make sure I didn't leave out any words because Mrs. Hicks does that. Animals build many different kinds of nests. First, hummingbirds build little cup-shaped nests. Next, mice construct grass nests that look like little balls that are hidden in tall grass or underground. Finally, weaver birds make woven grass nests that hang from tree branches. Clearly, animals don't all live. Oh, I don't like that right there. Don't all make. I'm going to change that a little bit. Don't all make or live in the same kinds of nests. Now, that is a beautiful paragraph. So, do you think you can do it now? What kind of bicycle rider are you going to be? Are you going to fall on the ground and cry? Are you going to need teachers' help at everything you do because you're scared of writing? Are you going to use this every once in a while and listen to us and then do the best job you can? Or are you going to be that independent writer that has learned everything we taught and you do a really good job because you take your time and you think about what you're doing? So think about that, because next week we're going to kind of start writing one together. All right. And you'll be finding the facts, and then we'll be using the facts and doing it. All right. So have a wonderful weekend. I hope you do well on your writing tests today, because you're doing lists and commas and dates and days. And I will talk to you next week. And you've just watched us make a paragraph. So I hope you listened, and you'll do a great job next week with me. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody.